Grand Rising. I come to you from the Apocalyptic Ashram, HawksHaven, and I just, oh, you're stuck. He's stuck. All right. Well, so he's stuck, and we're trying to look at the sunrise here. We got a lot of people complaining, just like Monty's expressing here, about a lot of things in the world right now. But there is hope, because even though there's a lot of really crazy things going on in the world right now, there's also a lot of solutions for these problems that we're just not yet implementing. I mean, like the fires in California. I mean, it's a horrible event, right? I mean, a lot of people have lost their homes, and there's I'm sure a lot of life that is just no longer there, right? Because really, we've been empowering other people for too long instead of doing what we know is important and right. And we've allowed the culture to advertise to us in a certain way the ways that we live, right? We've been advertised through television programming certain ways to think and act and be. And when we choose to support another way, we will we're gonna change a lot about what's happening in our lives, right? And so we're gonna go for a little walk here in the frozen landscape. Can you even see this? I don't know. What the heck's going on here? You're supposed to be able to see that. I don't know. This technology that we have, right? This technology that we have, it should be really, really serving us. It should be really, really serving us. But it's not, because it's not helping to make people's lives healthier, happier, more peaceful, or more abundant. And when we're not experiencing that in our life, we're gonna kind of reflect that onto others as well. And when we choose another way in how we do our life, we're gonna experience a whole another way of experiencing life. Okay, here we go. Maybe. All right. So here I am at the Apocalyptic Ashram. In the background, you might be able to see some of the apocalyptic stuff, right? But what we see in the main focal point is that there was a lot of water in here that soaked into the landscape instead of just running away and flooding low-lying areas, right? And so, and when we bring our landscapes into a hydrated way, we can start to promote a less susceptible landscape to fire and flood and erosion and drought and famine. Because really, that's what's important, right? I mean, if we're not focused on healthy places to live, I mean, what are we really doing? I mean, what are we really doing if we're not focused on the things that matter? Right? I mean, because there's abundance out in this world. There's abundance, like that building behind me, you know. I drew a piece, I took a piece of paper and I drew a line on the piece of paper, and then I drew another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and then it started looking like a house, right? And then I started nailing boards together and covering them with concrete, so that way if there is a fire out here, you know, if the house is covered in concrete and metal, it's much less likely to burn, right? Because I mean, that makes sense. If you live in an area that is like, you know, I mean, it can catch fire. I mean, because if it does it elsewhere, to think that it can't happen to you is kind of nuts. Isn't that like isn't that like a basis of apathy? So this pond, I mean, it actually fills up to about right there, and it fills all the way up, and it goes up into this area here, and at its deepest it's about 12 feet, but really it catches over a year, it catches millions of gallons of water and puts it into the aquifer, where it has a chance of being a better benefit than just running across the land and contributing to flooding in low-lying areas. So I'm showing you a phenomenon because, you know, we already watched the sunrise, right? We watched the sunrise at the beginning of this video. And when we recognize that when we take a higher path, when we start doing the things that matter, we start experiencing a life that we want to live, we start doing the things that make sense to us, not just because somebody somewhere said so, but because it's logical, right? I mean, if it's logical, it's because it works, right? It's cause and effect. It's reality. It isn't somebody with an expensive piece of paper's idea that only deserved a C minus, you know, for the effort that went into it. But it shouldn't be implemented everywhere for everyone just because somebody somewhere said so. And then we realize when we're in a higher perspective, we have responsibility. We have responsibility to share. We have responsibility to make sure that we're not the only ones that are doing all right. We have a responsibility to each other. Because if we're going to have unity, oneness, growth, and maintain a divine accordance with each other, everybody needs to be included. And we're not saying everyone on every level has to be included, because they said so. We're suggesting that we care about everyone. Everyone's given opportunities to grow and produce things that they want to experience in their life. My gosh, my hands are really cold. It's pretty cold out here. But you know what? When the sun comes out, like it is right now, again, it's amazing what we can do. And when I say we, I say that with a capital W, capital E, and that's welcoming everyone. Because welcoming everyone is what creates community. And this guy, he's always being a little crazy about stuff. I don't know if you can see that over there. Yeah, big old smiley face. That's all oyster shells. You know, that's one of the ways I turn one person's trash into my treasure. Turning trash into treasure here at the Apocalyptic Ashram, HawksHaven. Because we're living in a time of abundance. we're living in a time of abundance, Monty. Quit crying. Hey, come here. Come here. Okay, yeah. So we're living in a level of abundance that kings in the past would have they would have conquered nations for. You know, I mean, like I'm holding a device in my frozen fingers that is capable of sharing an idea with a lot of people all over the world, right? I mean, people in the past, the Son of God in the past, only had like 12 people following him around. You know, maybe many more listened to the messages he shared, but then, as the story goes, you know, he was crucified for his actions and beliefs that weren't in alignment with maintaining government and state control over the people. Hey, dude. I'm trying to make a video here, bro. That's what's happening. That's what's going on here. Oh, anyway, yeah. So distractions, right? I mean, distractions are what have kept us from achieving the things that we want to achieve in our life. And when we get away from those distractions, or when we manage them, I think his feet are cold. So I mean, mine are pretty cold, and I have I'm wearing some like soft liner things for boots, and he doesn't have those. So let's work our way back down the hill. Work our way back down into the coldness of the culture. Hold on, buddy. Hey, this way. Up. Come on. Yeah. So we're in the thick of it. Hey, come on, buddy. This way. Good boy. Right. Left. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm having to focus so I don't die here. Right. Just feel like there's more to do, more things to talk about, more ideas to explore. That's like So some of the fires that we've had most recently, right? So there are solutions to these problems. Some of these solutions, let's see. Okay, well, it's telling me that it's going to die really soon. the phone, not me, or Monty. So I'll just keep talking until it dies, and then we'll recharge, right? Okay, so it's like flashing at me now. Okay, but the solutions, right? We can range goats over the land to prevent overgrowth of brush. And we can use gray water in irrigation systems that keep the land hydrated. And then we can also we can engineer features into waterways that allow fish migration, right? So I mean, there's solutions to all these problems that we face, and they are embarrassingly simple.